Behind these concrete walls, America's most infamous murder suspect is living a nightmare. Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of brutally killing 4 University of Idaho students, is trapped in what inmates are calling the hole from hell. But here's the kicker. Sources are now reporting that Kohberger could be transferred out of Latah County Jail within weeks. Vegan meal complaints, inmate assaults, secret motions filed by his defense team. Is this the Idaho killer's escape from his concrete cage? Or is something far more sinister happening behind closed doors? I'm bringing you the 26 shocker nobody saw coming. Stay with me. Before we dive into Kohberger's current prison nightmare, let's rewind to the case that shocked the nation. November 13th, 2022. Moscow, Idaho, a quiet college town where nothing bad ever happens until it did. 4 bright, beautiful University of Idaho students, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, all stabbed to death in their off-campus rental house at 122 King Road. The brutality, unthinkable. The killer, a ghost. For 6 weeks, investigators had virtually nothing. No murder weapon, no clear suspect. Just a white Hyundai Elantra spotted near the scene and no evidence that would eventually crack this case wide open. Enter Bryan Christopher Kohberger. December 30th, 2022, cops storm his parents' home in Pennsylvania. The 28-year-old criminology ST student is arrested in connection with all 4 murders. The evidence? Touched Dinah on a knife sheath found at the scene. Cell phone pings placing him near the house. Multiple eyewitness accounts of his white Elantra circling the neighborhood. Kohberger pleads not guilty. His defense, they claim he was out driving alone that night, looking at the moon and stars. But prosecutors aren't buying it. And now, as the trial keeps getting delayed, Kohberger's day-to-day existence has become its own kind of punishment. Let's talk about where Bryan Kohberger has been living for the past 2 years. Latah County Jail in Moscow, Idaho. This isn't some federal supermax facility. This is a small town lockup originally designed for Deweys and petty crime, not alleged quadruple murderers. Kohberger is being held in maximum security, isolated 23 hours a day. His cell, roughly 8 by 10 feet. Concrete walls, a steel toilet, a thin mattress on a metal bed frame, 1 hour of recreation time daily if he's lucky. And here's where it gets interesting. Inmates at Latah County have been vocal, very vocal. According to reports from fellow prisoners who've since been released, Kohberger is not having an easy time. We are talking constant harassment, death threats screamed through cell vents, food trays allegedly tampered with. One former inmate told local reporters that Kohberger requested protective custody within his first week because other prisoners were threatening to finish what he started. But wait, it gets weirder. Kohberger is a strict vegan, and apparently, Latah County Jail's kitchen staff weren't exactly prepared for that. In January 2026, just weeks ago, Kohberger's defense team filed official complaints about his dietary accommodations. The jail was allegedly serving him meals with no protein alternatives, no soy, no beans prepared separately from meat products, just vegetables and bread. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, who cares what a murderer eats, hear me out. This isn't just about food. These complaints are strategic. They're building a paper trail, documenting inadequate conditions. Why? Because if his defense can prove he's being subjected to cruel and unusual punishment before trial, they can argue for dismissal or mistrial. Brilliant? Maybe. Disgusting? Definitely. But the vegan drama is just the tip of the iceberg. Multiple sources have hinted at physical altercations. Now, we don't have confirmed video or official incident reports the jail keeps that locked down tight, but whispers from inside suggest Kohberger was assaulted by another inmate in late 2025, allegedly attacked during one of his recreation hours. The result? More isolation, more protective measures, more ammunition for his legal team. And now we arrive at the bombshell. According to a January 31st, 2026 report from Court V, sources close to the case are saying Bryan Kohberger could be transferred out of Latah County Jail. The destination? Idaho State Correctional Institution, a much larger, more secure facility about 80 miles away. But here's the million-dollar question. Why? Why move him now? Why after 2 years in this jail cell? Let's break down the theories. Theory number 1. Security concerns. If Kohberger genuinely is being threatened and assaulted by other inmates, the state has a legal obligation to protect him. Remember, he hasn't been convicted yet. He's presumed innocent until proven guilty. If something happens to him before trial, the entire case collapses. Prosecutors can't afford that. Theory number 2. Trial delay tactics. Kohberger's defense has been pushing for delays, change of venue motions, evidence suppression hearings. Maybe a transfer throws another wrench in the timeline. New facility means new security protocols, new transportation logistics for court appearances, new everything. More delays equal more time for the defense to poke holes in the prosecution's case. Theory number 3. Public pressure. Moscow is a small town. Only 25,000 people. The families of the victims live there. Students who knew Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan walk past that jail every day. The emotional weight is crushing. Some legal experts think moving Kohberger might be about giving the community breathing room, out of sight, out of mind. Let the healing begin. But here's where it gets really interesting. If Kohberger is transferred to a larger facility, he'll have more access to other high-profile inmates, more potential witnesses, more people who might claim he confessed something to them. Jailhouse informants are a prosecutor's dream and a defense attorney's nightmare. So is this transfer actually good for the prosecution? Could they be orchestrating this? Let's talk about what's happening in the legal arena while Kohberger rots in his cell, because this case is far from straightforward. The prosecution has what they call a solid case, digital forensics, showing Kohberger's phone near the murder house, eyewitness testimony from a surviving roommate who saw a masked man leaving the scene. But Kohberger's defense team, led by high-powered public defender Ann Taylor, is punching back hard. Multiple motions have been filed to suppress evidence that Taylor argues it was collected improperly from trash outside Kohberger's parents' home. The cell phone data? She claims the geofencing warrants were overly broad and violated his Fourth Amendment rights. The eyewitness? Traumatized, unreliable, in the dark at 4 a.m. And then there are the whispers of a possible plea deal. Now, the prosecution has publicly stated they're seeking the death penalty. But behind closed doors, sources claim there have been conversations. Could Kohberger plead guilty to avoid execution? Would he take life without parole to spare himself the needle? The victims' families are split. Some want him dead. Justice, they say, demands it. Others just want answers. They want to know why. Why their daughters, their son, were targeted. Why that night? Why that house? And Bryan Kohberger sitting in his cell, silent as a tomb, hasn't given them a single answer. Opinion? Absolutely brutal. Online sleuths have dissected every frame of his arrest video. His courtroom demeanor, that blank, emotionless stare. People are calling him a psychopath, a narcissist, a monster, but his defense maintains he's an innocent man being railroaded by overzealous cops, desperate to close an unsolvable case. Alright, Strange Chapter fam, this is where you come in, because this case has spawned some absolutely wild theories, and I want to know where you stand. Theory 1, Kohberger is guilty as sin. The evidence is overwhelming. The DNA doesn't lie. He's exactly where he belongs. And this transfer talk is just his lawyers trying to delay the inevitable death penalty. Theory 2, he's being framed. Corrupt small-town cops needed a scapegoat. They planted the DNA. They manipulated the digital evidence. Kohberger was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now his life is destroyed. Theory 3, he's guilty, but he didn't act alone. There was an accomplice, someone who helped plan this, someone who's still out there. And the prosecution is keeping that quiet because they need Kohberger to flip first. And here's the wildest one I've seen circulating. Theory 4. The prison transfer is part of an escape plot. Kohberger's defense team knows he's toast if he goes to trial. So they're engineering a transfer, and during transport, there's going to be an incident. Maybe a staged accident, maybe a breakout attempt. I don't buy this one. But stranger things have happened. Drop a comment right now. Tell me which theory you think is closest to the truth. Or if you've got your own theory, lay it on me. This community has some of the sharpest true crime minds out there, and I read every single comment. Where does this leave us in February 2026? Here's what we know for certain. 1. Bryan Kohberger remains in Latah County Jail as of this recording. The transfer has not been officially approved. It's still just rumors and unnamed sources. 2. His trial date keeps getting pushed. Originally scheduled for October 2023, then June 2024, now we're looking at potentially late 2026 or even 2027. The families are exhausted. The community is frustrated. 3. The vegan meal complaints are ongoing. Month demanding nutritional assessments and outside meal providers. The jail is pushing back, calling it a frivolous distraction. Kohberger's appearance has changed. Courtroom sketches show he's lost weight, dark circles under his eyes. Whether that's from stress, poor nutrition, something else we don't know. 5. The next major hearing is scheduled for March 15th, 2026. That's when the judge will rule on several key defense motions, including the motion to suppress DNA evidence. If that evidence gets tossed, this case could fall apart. Have it. Strange chapter family. Bryan Kohberger's jail hell. The transfer rumors. The legal battles. The unanswered questions. Is he about to vanish from Latah County Jail? Is this a calculated legal move? Or is the system finally recognizing it can't keep him safe in a small town lockup? Need to know what you think. Comment below, transfer or trap. Is moving Kohberger the right call? Or is this just his defense team playing games? And hit that subscribe button because next week I'm bringing you the Lucy led by bombshell that's got the uke in absolute chaos. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop questioning the narrative. See you in the next investigation.